So I've got my next yarn. I've got this pretty Woolbox pink yarn. So I'm going to make a slip knot again. And then we've got the first round here. I'm going to put my hook through any of those chain one spaces. So we call that space in between the little clusters a chain one space. I'm going to put my hook through, going to attach my new yarn, going to pull it through and then yarn round the hook, and we're going to start off again with 3 chain. 1, 2, 3. So remember, that's equivalent to a treble. So now we're going to do 2 trebles into that space. So we're not working into the center ring now, we're actually working into those chain one spaces. So I've done the 2 trebles. So if you remember, the other clusters were all made up of 3 trebles, but the very first one is made up of 3 chain and 2 trebles, and that looks just like 3 trebles. So in that chain one space, I've done 3 chain, 2 trebles. I'm going to do 1 chain, and then I'm going to go back into the same space and I'm going to do another 3 trebles. 1, 2, 3. And then this time I'm not going to do a chain one. I'm just going to put the yarn around my hook and go straight into the next space between the clusters. And I'm going to do 3 more trebles. So I'm working 3 more trebles into that chain one space. And then I'm going to make 1 chain, and I'm going to make 3 more trebles in that space. 1, 2, oops, and a third. And what we're actually doing here is we're making our corners. So you can see I've got 3, got my first cluster of 3, a chain and 3 trebles, gone straight into that next chain one space, and I've got 3, a chain and 3, and there are my corners. So now we're working around this, and we're going to go into that next 1 chain space, and we're going to work 3 more trebles. 1, 2, 3, and chain 1, and then another 3. 1, 2. Just put a bit of this yarn, and lastly 3. So that's my third corner. I'm going to work over now into this last space here, and then just go 1, 2, 3. I think this pink looks so pretty with the oatmeal. And then the last 3. 1, 2, and 3. And then if you remember, we're going to do what we did with the first round. We need to close this round now. So we put our hook into the top of the 3 chain, yarn around the hook, and we pull through, and we pull through the loop on the hook, and that closes the round. I'm going to cut my yarn round hook, and pull through. So you can see it's really looking like a proper little granny square now. So I'm going to add a third round. So I'm just going to put that there. I think I'm going to grab some of this nice blue yarn. So it's very soft, this yarn. It should be great to make a little baby blanket, or any blanket really. So it's the same again. I'm going to make a slip knot, And then I'm going to go into any of these corner spaces. So where we've made that one chain, so I'm going to push my hook through, attach my loop there, pull through, yarn round hook, and remember it's 3 chain to start, and that gives us the height of a treble. And then we're going to do the same again, and to work a couple of trebles. Remember, with that very first cluster, we only need to work 2 trebles because the chain 3 is equivalent to a treble. 1 chain, and then we're going to do 3 more in here. 1, 2, 3. And what you'll see now is it's quite a long way to that next corner. You can see there's a little gap in between. So what we're going to do there is work 3 trebles. And this is how the granny squares grow. Each time you have an extra little space on the side for doing 3 trebles. And then we're near the corner now, so it's 3 trebles. 1, 2, 3. Remember that 1 chain to make that space. And then we're going to do, this takes us around the corner, and we're going to do another 3 trebles. You see, and if we look at this space, this side now, when we come around in a different colour, we've got a space here and a space here, and that's where we'll be putting 3 trebles. So we're going to carry on this side, and we've got the space there for 3. 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to go into that corner there. So that's 1, 2, let's pull my yarn, 3, 1 chain, 1, 2. You'll see if you look at different patterns for granny squares. This is quite a traditional one, but some patterns they recommend putting 2 chain in between your clusters in the corner, and maybe putting a chain in between each of these clusters round the sides. But I like a less holy granny square, so I tend to reduce the number of chains that I use. 2. Almost finished this round. You can see how quick they are to make. You can really rattle quite a few off in a short period of time. So I'm just doing this quickly. That's 3. We've got that last group there. 1, 2, 3, and there I'm going to go into the top of that first chain 3, yarn around my hook, pull through, and then that's closed nicely. I'm going to snip that off, yarn around the hook again, and pull through. So now we've got a 3 round granny square. So you have to also think about with your granny square, let's just look at all these tails. So these do need sewing in, and it's much better to do that as you go along. So maybe what I'll do next is show you how I sew my tails in. So this is looking really pretty. So I can't wait to add some more colours, but I'll come back in a few minutes and just show you how I sew in these tails. Okay, bye for now.